I guess my first question is, do you see a film like this, which is presenting a pretty much positive portrayal of Arabs and Muslims, do you see something like this bridging the gaps between the East and the West that are so prevalent right now?
I hope so. I mean, without intending to, because this movie was planned and shot before the most recent invasion of Iraq. It was on the heels of the unprovoked invasion of Afghanistan, but it was before what's happening now. So it is timely in a certain sense. And by the way, salam alaikum. I like the story when I read it, and you never know how it's going to turn out. It depends on the director's point of view, his approach. But on meeting him, I knew that we seemed to be on the same page, and pretty much everybody involved in telling the story was into it for the right reasons. You know, you can make a documentary that deals with East-West relations, and there have been good ones, and reach a certain audience. But a movie like this, because it is entertaining, because it is an adventure that you know takes you along for a really interesting ride, and I'm saying this based on reaction all over North America and from people in Europe as well that have seen this. They are, you know, all kinds of people, and they're involved. When you get involved like that, when a movie can have a popular success where millions of people see it, and Arab Muslim culture or Lakota Native American culture, among others, are treated with a degree of respect and dignity, it's a big deal. Right. A lot of people get to see that. It's still a story. It's a, you know, a tale. It's an entertainment. But it's rare, unfortunately, and maybe that'll change, that a big Hollywood movie will even deal with, in any kind of, with any subtlety or attention to detail, Native American or Arab, especially Muslim culture, especially at this time. I really liked that it did that, and I liked that it did it without making a big deal of it, because it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be remarkable that a movie shows you that people are people, you know, wherever you go. And I also think it's interesting to have a cowboy, a real cowboy, shown, not the perverted image of the cowboy, which we've gotten in the last couple of decades from, you know, the President of the United States right now, and, you know, Reagan and other people, not just presidents, but people in the United States have perverted that image in a way to say that being an individual, you know, because that's the archetype. The cowboy is an individualist, independent-minded, sort of stoic, and does things his own way. That a cowboy's individualism involves preventing others from having their individual experience, you know, because you don't agree with them, right, because they seem different. That's not what cowboys are about. The cowboys that worked on this movie, the wranglers, the horse trainer, the cowboys that I've met, are not particularly American in their individualistic streak, but they have a lot in common with you know, other cultures as well. I mean, a cowboy who is independent-minded and sometimes very stubborn about it, but also has a sense of humor about himself and makes up for what he doesn't understand about the world by at least being curious about it, which is a step toward being open-minded and finding connections, and who allows others to have their individual experience. Like you see at the starting line, for example, there's a man that comes over, the guy with the falcon, right, and he says, you know, this is sacrilege. Allah says you shouldn't be here, and I agree, and your horse doesn't have a chance, and like that. And my character's response, you know, he thinks about it, he takes that in. And instead of getting really angry about it, he just says, well, you know, good luck to you too.
And they become friends at the end. So.
That's what I think of as a cowboy, and that has as much in common with your medieval knight or your Saracen warrior poet, or a Maasai warrior, or Lakota, you know, brave, or samurai. You know what I mean? That's So in other words, it kind of reestablishes what's good about being a cowboy. I think cowboys are interesting. When I was a little kid, I thought they were cool, just like I thought Indians were cool too. It's nice to be involved in a story that treats those people and those archetypes with some care.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, I want to thank you for having us out here. In the Muslim community, you have a lot of admirers. You have no idea. Just so many people. My phone has been ringing off the hook for the past week. All these people, they say, "Oh, tell them the Muslims love Viggo." You know, so really, I mean, the fact that you did a movie like this, we really admire that.
When you went to see it, you know, you see this, you know, the big fat white guy head on the poster being chased by a bunch of Arab horsemen. You see the trailer. Just however one has been conditioned as an audience to see, you know, what comes out of Hollywood, especially as it treats native cultures or Muslim culture, or Arab culture. What did you think you were going to see when you went in, and what did you feel about it after when you saw it?
Well, I think a lot of us went in expecting the worst, and we were all very pleasantly surprised.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
So thanks for taking the time to see us. I really appreciate it.
Are you an Omar Sharif fan?
Yeah. I was very happy to see him in the movie. You know, he adds a lot of credibility to it, you know.
Good. Well, thanks for coming. If you had another, do you have any more questions?
I think that about covered it.
Good. Thank you for coming.
Thanks for having us.
All right.